And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another movie review. Today I'm reviewing Ralph Breaks the Internet, or Wreck-It Ralph 2, released in 2018. I have already reviewed the first Wreck-It Ralph. If you want to go check out that review, it's in the playlist with all the other movie reviews that I've done. I gotta put it out there right now. If I ever do eventually make a rankings video or a tier list um of movies that I've seen. I'm trying to fix that. I don't know why the fuck it's doing that. Whatever. If I do eventually do a video like that, which is probably going to happen at some point, this movie's going to be damn well near the bottom, if not at the bottom. I'll put it out there right now. I'm going to rip into this movie. It deserves it 100%, and really sucks. So I got a lot of thoughts. Jump right into it. Well, let's get some of the less massive thoughts out of the way first. There's a ton of burp and butt jokes, and they're not too many of them, way too many of them. They completely disregard every rule, pretty much from the first movie about leaving your game. They literally leave the game for several days, it feels like. Especially while they were gone while the arcade was open. Doesn't affect Vanellope much because her game is unplugged. But Ralph, his game already had problems, and now he's going to be looking at Ralph gone again. That was a whole thing in the first movie, and now he's gone again. He went rogue again, and it doesn't matter at all. Okay. There was a lot of racism with the housing the Sugar Rush characters scene. Yeah, okay. We found some undesirables. That was a crazy line that I had, that I thought of, or that I thought was a crazy line. And then when you get to the internet stuff, it was very crazy to see how many licenses they did get and how many they clearly didn't get, because it was very obvious with some of the there was it looks like the logos for some places, but they couldn't use the right wording. In some places, they got them correct, like Facebook or YouTube or all that sort of stuff. It was kind of crazy to see that. And the other generic internet things that they do in this movie, like the pop-ups or cutting out the Wi-Fi connection or that kind of stuff, that was pretty good. I will say, I thought that they did pretty well. It was pretty crazy, but I liked it. Wallet room. There was apparently wallet room for your wallet. 10,000 subscribers, and I'm not gonna sneeze. Into my wallet room. They got fucking Colleen Ballinger in this. Why? She did not need to be in this movie. This was before all that happened. But still. There was also fucking Fast and Furious with the whole, oh, we're hard tuck thugs, family. There was a really weird Al Gore reference, too, that just came completely out of left field. Didn't know really how to feel about that one. And Vanellope did not need to sing. My ears bled during that. When I think about it much longer, they're going to bleed again. Friend. That gave me fucking nightmares. Friend. I didn't like that. And then probably the best part of the movie was literally in the end credits scene with a Wreck-It Ralph Rickroll. That was honestly, if the movie was just that, it'd be a 10 out of 10 movie. It was great. That's really the only greatness that comes out of this movie. I have some very, very, very big complaints because the complaints that I talked about already, yes, they're bad, but they don't make this movie the worst movie I've ever seen or one of the worst. What makes this one of the worst movies I have ever seen is the fact of that Ralph is a completely different character in this movie. Isn't it great that they made Ralph not learn anything from the first movie, and he is annoying, clingy, and just overall not a strong character anymore? And then we have the Disney room scene with all the princesses, and that was just off. And the cringe was just off the charts. So many outdated references. They piled on a ton of internet references that none of which pretty much have any relevancy except maybe the Rickroll. And it is just, this movie is just so it's woke. I'm sorry, it is extremely woke, and not necessarily a bad thing on paper, but this movie is so blatant in the fact that it wants to demoralize men and just wants to completely brainwash and do anything like that. And it's, I mean, I'm not trying to be offensive here, but that's exactly what this movie is doing. And this is not something that we needed to see in a fucking Wreck-It Ralph movie. Okay? But you want to know why that's in there? You want to know why this movie is so demeaning to men? And why Ralph is just such a fucking terrible character who's just a clingy bitch now? He doesn't have any similar qualities to what he had in the first movie? Because this movie is almost 100% completely sponsored by BuzzFeed. As if it wasn't already obvious by the things that I talked about already that this is sponsored by BuzzFeed, you can get a million other clues through pretty much every like place where there was internet companies shown. There was something BuzzFeed related in there, and they literally have like the main thing is not YouTube, but BuzzTube. Even though YouTube is in the fucking movie. Many times, in fact, it's in the movie. But no, BuzzTube, BuzzTube, BuzzTube. I want to know. I want to know what the check. I want to know what the number that BuzzFeed put on the check that they gave to Disney to basically just basically dump their whole website into this movie. I want to know. Because it's blatantly obvious pretty much from the get-go. And that's not even getting to the fact the movie it's terrible. It just drags on. And it's just so damn painful. It's so damn painful to watch Ralph like this because that's not the character that he was supposed to be. And they just completely butchered it. I don't know. It sucks. It really sucks. Like I knew going in that this movie probably wasn't going to be as good as the first one, because I knew going in that there was going to be a ton of just shitty internet puns, internet references that are way outdated. I knew that going in. What I didn't know is how much BuzzFeed had an influence on this movie, and how that just completely shatters any chance this movie had at being decent. This is honestly, like I said, one of the worst movies that I've ever seen. I'm probably going to have to give it a good 2 out of 10. It's one of the worst rankings I think I've ever given for a movie. And I think the only ones that maybe have gotten that low of a score or would be down there with Wreck-It Ralph 2 are like The Starving Games, which is a fucking bootleg movie. This is a full-on fledged Disney production here. And it's down there. So fuck BuzzFeed. Fuck this movie. If you have never seen it, don't watch it. Save yourself the hour and 45 minutes or however long this movie is. Save yourself the time. Don't watch this. If you have seen it, I'm sorry. But let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Till next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.